Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Today we are on the road and we are in Gibsland, Louisiana. Right behind me is the side of a little cafe where something very historic took place. You may have heard of Bonnie and Clyde. You know the story. Bonnie was a waitress at a small cafe. Clyde was the rounder that took her away. They both robbed and killed until both of them died. So goes the legend of Bonnie and Clyde. Today we are going to visit the site where they were ambushed and killed. Also, we are going in the museum and learn a little bit about Bonnie and Clyde. And we'll get started right after this station identification. The Ma Canfield's Cafe, now the museum. They stopped here and got sandwiches and then climbed into their Ford and headed in this direction. There were also photographs from movies that were made about Bonnie and Clyde, and some photographs of them. In a sense, they were celebrity killers. $250 reward for the capture of Clyde Barrow. Here is a picture of Clyde in the center with his sister. And then here's a photograph of Bonnie Parker when she was 17 years old. And also a photograph of her working at Marco's Cafe. And this is pretty interesting. This hat, called a tam, it was found in the death car after the ambush on May the 23rd, 1934. The brooch right next to it was found pinned to Bonnie's dress and was listed on the coroner's report in Arcadia, Louisiana. And here are some artifacts that belong to Clyde Barrow and were actually found in the death car in this suitcase. This was called the infamous cigar photo of Bonnie Parker. Was never meant to be seen by anyone outside the family and friends. The photograph is one of a series of pictures snapped by Barrow, Parker, and Jones and left behind in Joplin, Missouri after a gunfight. A photograph of Clyde cleaning and oiling his guns. They said he was real meticulous when it came to his guns. And this is a mock-up of the ambush car. And there's Bonnie and Clyde. The bullets went through this side, through both bodies, and out the other side. This 1934 Ford had been featured in the 1967 Warner Brothers movie Bonnie and Clyde, starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. Diorama of the ambush site in one of the versions where a car was stalled in the road that forced Clyde to stop, and here is a posse hiding out in the shrubbery right there. and the bullets would go through this way through both bodies. Very thorough. There are the coroner's reports. And May the 23rd and 24th, the authentic Bonnie and Clyde Festival. And then here is a mock-up of Bonnie Parker's grave and Clyde Barrow's grave. And I believe this is an original picture of Bonnie Parker. Yeah. I tell you, they were gangsters, outlaws, and apparently they love having their picture made. So with sandwiches in tow, Bonnie and Clyde headed south on Highway 154. I wonder if this old station or store would have been here when Bonnie and Clyde rode by on their last ride. It would have been on this lonely road, Highway 154 in Louisiana. We're approximately 7 miles outside of Gibsland, Louisiana. Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow met their demise. One account says a car or truck was stalled in the road, forcing them to stop. Another one says that someone, law officer, stopped them in the middle of the road himself. One particular law officer gave the word not to fire until he gave the word. The lawmen would have been staged over in this direction, on that hill up in the trees with their Tommy guns and shotguns and rifles. And on hearing the word, all you know what broke loose. And right in this spot is where it all happened. Well, this is one of the monuments, and it reads, on this site, May the 23rd, 1934 at 9:15 a.m., the infamous outlaws, Bonnie Parker and Clyde Barrow, met their demise at the hands of the dedicated law enforcement officials. Lest we forget these brave and vigilant conservators of the peace. Front and left, Deputy Sheriff Robert Alcorn, Benville Sheriff Henderson Jordan, and Texas Ranger Captain Frank Hamer. The back left is Deputy Sheriff Ted Hinton, Chief Deputy Prentice Oakley, and Texas Ranger B.M. Galt. This is one of the original markers. It says this site, May the 23rd, Clyde Barrow and Bonnie Parker were killed by law enforcement officials. You can see over the years how people have come and chipped off pieces of the monument, even their name. And there's a little sign over here that says that these don't deface these monuments by marking them or chipping away at them. Well, that is going to do it for our trip to Gibsland, Louisiana, and I hope I pronounced the name right, to learn a little bit about Bonnie and Clyde, the last ride, the death site, and some of the things at the museum in Gibsland. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so if you will. And also, please share this video with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.